Good evening and thank you for joining St. George News at 8. I'm Sarah Blakely. Scott Beadle has this week off. Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints polygamous sect leader Lyle Steve Jeffs has been taken into custody. Jeffs did not resist arrest in South Dakota Wednesday night. He had been on the run from authorities for almost a year. Jeffs had been living out of his car for 2 weeks before his arrest in Yankton. Jeffs and other leaders were accused of instructing followers to buy items with their food stamp cards and give them to a church warehouse where leaders decided how to distribute products to followers, diverting at least $12 million worth of federal benefits from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Jeffs escaped house arrest last summer while awaiting trial. His flight from prosecution and his fugitive status will undoubtedly play a significant part in his upcoming prosecution. His 11 co-defendants resolved their cases by pleading guilty to felony or misdemeanor charges, and Jeffs will likely face at least another charge for fleeing prosecution. The Utah Bureau of Land Management quarterly oil and gas lease sale resulted in competitive bids for over 7,400 acres of the more than 23,000 offered. This keeps with the goals of promoting America's energy independence. The BLM offered 20 parcels in Garfield, San Pete, and Sevier counties in Utah. The combined bids from the sale brought in more than $48,000, which will be distributed between the federal government and state of Utah. The BLM's energy program includes an all-of-the-above approach that includes oil and gas, coal, strategic minerals, and renewable resources, all of which can be developed into public lands. Well, you could become a robot expert at Southern Utah University's Arts Fusion program. It's now offering training for educators throughout the year. The program's next workshop for K-12 educators, Arts and Bots, runs Thursday and Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Arts and Bots workshop teaches instructors how to build and animate cardboard robots using art supplies, motors, LED lights, moving parts, and sound. Following the training, participants can check out robotic kits from the SUU Center for STEM Teaching and Learning. Arts and Bots registration fee is $45, and that includes lunch on both days and covers the cost of supplies. Participants earn 15 relicensing points, and SUU continuing education credit is optional with a small additional cost. Following the ball field shooting that appeared to target members of Congress, investigators are combing over the background of the shooter. Today, Louisiana Congressman Stephen Scalise remains hospitalized in critical condition. Others are recovering from their wounds. And Congress is demonstrating their support tonight, playing that charity baseball game as originally scheduled. Lana Zach is there at Nationals Park.
Congressman Stephen Scalise remains in critical condition after being wounded by a lone wolf shooter at a ball field.
It's been much more difficult than people even thought at the time. He's in some trouble, but he's a great fighter.
While 26 Republican members of Congress and their staffs practiced for tonight's charity baseball game, they came under attack. Zach Barth, a congressional aide, was among the 4 people shot.
I was just a sitting duck out there, so I made a run down the right field line. Third baseline rather, and ran into the dugout, literally running for my life.
Also wounded, Capitol Police Officer Crystal Greiner, who rushed into action at the first sound of gunfire. Also Mike Mika, a lobbyist who remains in critical condition. Investigators are trying to piece together the motives of the deceased shooter, 66-year-old James Hodgkinson, who had a history of anti-Trump and anti-Republican rhetoric. But lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are coming together for a meal today before continuing tonight's game as scheduled.
We're going to go to the game today. We're going to play our hardest to win. Each team will. And throughout the whole game, we will all be Team Scalise.
Our chief meteorologist Chris Summers has your Southern Utah forecast after this.
The weather tonight is brought to you by AWI Networks, smarter internet.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening to you. Another hot, dry weather out there for today. Our temperatures into the triple digits. Definitely want to see any of your photos you have, though. Make sure you send those to us. And you can go to our website at kcsg.com, or actually find us on Facebook or Twitter, even Instagram, too. And make sure you use the hashtag KCSG and do _TV so we can get these shown. For some of these pictures actually get shown here on the News at 8 over the next several days. But it was a hot one out there today, and dry weather continues, too. Temperatures into the upper 90s to near 100 here in St. George, but actually Cedar City even made it in the 90s, too. 92 degrees in Cedar City, 94 Enterprise, 100 in Hurricane, 101 here in St. George, and 105 from Vegas, 106 degrees, the high temperature today in Mesquite. Overnight tonight, then, it's still going to be a warm one out there. Temperatures drop back into the mid-50s around Cedar City. And from St. George to Hurricane to Mesquite, then temperatures drop back in the upper 60s to close to 70 with mainly clear skies throughout the day. Here's your forecast for your Friday. As we head to Cedar City, again, another warm one out there. Should make it up to 93 for an afternoon high. West-northwest winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour with mostly sunny skies expected. Around St. George, then, yeah, hot and dry. That continues. We'll go for a high of 104 on Friday afternoon. Again, a lot of sunshine expected. West-southwest winds could be gusting as high as 15 miles per hour, which may help a little bit with the heat, but definitely going to be keeping the heat on here the next several days. And your triple-digit heat will continue right into the weekend. Our sunshine and dry weather continues as well. Even next week, I don't see a lot of signs of this changing anytime soon. Over the next 7 days at least, we're seeing triple-digit heat across parts of southern Utah, and also that sunshine and dry weather continuing too. And early next week, they do have an excessive heat watch going into effect from the National Weather Service. That will start on Monday and last through at least Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, when we could see some of the hottest temperatures actually happening early next week. Here's what it looks like then for next week. Again, some challenges on the records anyway. Could be looking at record challenging temperatures. Also, again, that heat exhaustion would be a problem as well. And also have that elevated fire risk across a good portion of the southwestern United States from Nevada here to St. George. Again, parts of southern Utah, even Arizona seeing high pressure. And actually in Arizona could see temperatures close to 120 degrees. Now, where do you want to go to be cooler? Yeah, head off to the beaches of California. We're going to see those cooler temperatures right along the ocean, where you'll see the nice weather along the beaches of California. But as you move inland, that's when we really see those record challenging temperatures across our area. Now for tonight, or for Friday, should see temperatures once again low to mid 90s, even from Cedar City, Newcastle, even Enterprise at 93 for a high on Friday. As we head to southern Utah, then 104 the high here in St. George, 107 from Mesquite to Littlefield, and 102 for the high on Friday in Hurricane. Cedar City 7-day forecast shows temperatures, yeah, staying in the low to mid 90s, and by early next week could be talking about triple-digit heat once again. Even in Cedar City, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, could be looking at temperatures close to 100. Around St. George and southern Utah, then, yeah, right into the triple digits once again. We'll keep triple digits in the forecast right through the next 7 days, and really hard to put them all on there, actually. You can see temperatures are going to be from 104 on Friday up to 105 by Saturday, and then by early next week, again, that's when the excessive heat watch goes into effect Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday right now, where it could be at 110 to 112 as the actual temperature, which is very hot weather continuing, and dry weather too, over the next extended period of time anyway. So
yeah,
definitely looking at some record challenging temperatures here.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the National Weather Service had issued that excessive heat watch. Those temperatures are projected to reach record challenging levels between 105 and 115, like you said, during this time. Now, the highest verified temperature recorded in St. George was 117 degrees. That was all the way back on July 5th of 1985, according to the National Weather Service. The hot temperatures will create a dangerous situation in which heat illnesses are possible. So, like Chris said, drink plenty of fluids, stay in an air-conditioned room, stay out of the sun, and also a reminder to check up on your relatives and neighbors. Well, a bit of good news, KCSG is giving away $500. All you have to do, just make sure to tune into the nightly news at 8 p.m. for the keyword to enter for your chance to win. And tonight's keyword is Red Rock. We'll take a break and be right back after this. The state's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Explosives Canine Agent Oscar celebrates his 4th birthday this week. Oscar's come a long way in his short life. He began his training with the Puppies Behind Bars organization, where he was raised by a federal prison inmate in Ohio when he was just 8 weeks old. He then went on to complete an intense 12-week training program at the ATF National Canine Center in Virginia before coming here to Utah. He's just one of 53 ATF accelerant detection dogs in the entire entire country. He can pinpoint the presence and location of accelerants at any fire scene. His partners say he has an incredible sense of smell. Well, very happy birthday to Oscar. I hope he gets lots of treats.
Come from Ohio to Utah, yeah, he made some travels already in his years, small years around.
That's for sure. Well, thanks for watching tonight. Have a great evening. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.